Thank you for staying with us. It's time now to take a look at stories making headlines on the front page of Nigerian newspapers. And I begin with the Punch newspaper. The major story here: tankers besiege depots as petrol shortage worsens. The riders there, independent outlets sell 950 naira per litre as black market hits 1,400 naira per litre. Many fuel trucks yet to load, NNPC not supplying enough petrol yet. That's what Ipman is saying. Another story here. Tinubu panel, Dangote refinery agree on September petrol rollout. IG unveils 169-man squad against kidnapping others. An opposition tackles presidency over new presidential jet. NLC protests asks police probe Ajero for terrorism financing. Some stories on the front page of the Punch newspaper. To the Platform Times now. Tinubu approves fuel subsidy payment despite removal pledge. A report is saying this. And another story there. Rivers, we are not going back on council polls. Governor Fubara is quoted as saying. Ogun resident Electoral Commissioner slums dies after Abuja meeting. A sad one there. Ogun local government poll, Majekodumi seeks re-election as 20 others jostle for Abeokuta South seat. 2 men flogged for attempting to steal rice in Kano. Those are some of the stories on the front page of 24. Appeals for calm amid fuel scarcity. Another story here. Ogun harvests 200-hectare rice plantation, joins League of Rice-Producing States. And Tinubu appoints new MD management team for NDPHC. Police invite NLC president over alleged terrorism financing, cyber crimes. And the story made headlines. FG will begin Naira crude sale to Dangote refinery, others by October the 1st. Some stories on the front page of the Nigerian News Direct. To the Leadership newspaper now. Concern over fate of 20 abducted medical students. Victims spend 6 days in captivity. Abductors demand 50 million naira ransom. Jos Maiduguri University seek release of students. Another story here. Fred Cardoso, deputies under scrutiny over alleged generous approvals. Fresh crisis rocks PDP over Congresses. And those are some of the stories on the front page of the Leadership newspaper. To the First News newspaper now. Battle lines drawn. NLC's president summoned by police over explosive terrorism allegations. Food crisis. Army deploys troops to protect northern farmers. NERC grants Golden Penny, MTN, other electricity generation permits. Interesting. And another story here. Senators, 29 million naira monthly pay. Too small. I became poorer as a senator, claims Elisha Abu. All right. Presidency unveils new Airbus A330 jet for President Tinubu. NNPC reports record profit of 3.3 trillion naira for 2023, declares 2.1 trillion naira dividend. Investors lose 847 billion naira as stock market dips amid profit-taking sell-off. Some stories on the front page of the First News newspaper. Now to this Nigeria newspaper. Food crisis. Army deploys officers to protect farmers in North Niger. Kogi, Nasarawa residents lament astronomical increase in prices of foodstuff. NLC meets as police accuse Ajero of financing terrorism. Now, Mpox, don't eat undercooked bushmeat. Resident doctors warn Nigerians. NEC issues permit to others to generate electricity, that's MTN and others. Now, ratify anti-graft protocol, Tinubu tells ECOWAS countries. Marketers blame non-supply as reason for fresh fuel scarcity. Some stories on the front page of this Nigerian newspaper. To the Daily Times now. Tinubu seeks stronger anti-corruption structures in West Africa to tackle graft. Says corruption, one of the most significant obstacles to progress, prosperity of nations. Supreme Court reserves judgment in Bayelsa-Kogi governorship election appeals. And the Mpox, that story at the dam strip. Resident doctors warn against consumption of undercooked bush meat. Some stories on the front page of the Daily Times. To the business day now, criticism as Tinubu heads for France in newly acquired $100 million aircraft. Petrol price hits 1,000 naira per litre as scarcity spreads. Some stories on the front page of the business day. To the Daily Independent, new presidential jet is 15 years old. Nigeria is third user. Expert lament cost of maintenance will be exorbitant. Tinubu heads to France aboard new jet replacing old one. Subsidy continuation, another chapter of Tinubu's opaque governance. That's what Atiku is saying. INEC begins distribution of PVCs in Edo Thursday ahead of Guba polls. Ibrahim.
Right, the first with me here is the Vanguard newspaper. TSA, fresh panic as federal government demands 50% of aviation agencies' revenue. Lots of damage being done to aviation at Sun. NNPC posts 3.3 trillion naira net profit, declares 2.1 trillion naira dividend. And then Isheshede, Lagos, Osun, Oyo, Ogun declare public holiday. Police invite NLC president over terrorism financing, treasonable felony. How I'm winning war against corruption. Tinubu, Naira crude sale begins October the 1st. Edun. Next is New Telegraph newspaper. 5 years after, appeal courts to hear ex-CJN Onogen's suit challenging his removal from office today. Report, fuel subsidy to hit 6.884 trillion naira by year-end. Pact implementation face-off. ASU's NEC meets, gives federal government 21-day warning strike notice. Study, childhood sleep patterns influence adolescents' alcoholic marijuana use. NNPC Limited post record 3.3 trillion naira net profit in 46 years. Next is Daily Trust newspaper. Multi-million naira scams. Kano governor's COS, Kwankwanso's nephew, others under probe. PEM secretary, directors, Algon chair summoned. We won't spare anyone. Anti-corruption commission vows. 90 billion naira Hajj subsidy probe. Tinubu fires NACON chair, Arabi. Supreme Court reserves judgments in Kogi, Bayelsa, Imo governorship appeals. Police summon Ajaero over alleged terrorism financing, felony, others. Tinubu flies to France in new presidential jet. Presidency silent on cost. Experts demand transparency as fuel subsidy back 1 year after. 4 policemen killed in Enugu checkpoint attack. Next is The Pointer. DTSG stops illegal entry into technical colleges, says boarding houses to open September the 15th. ASU gives federal government 21-day strike notice. Tension deepens as suspected military men arrest Okwama, PG. Others, police react. Next is Blueprint newspaper. Nigerian government to ECOWAS, $88.6 billion annual illicit financial flow accounts for poor Africa's infrastructure. Tinubu wants ECOWAS protocol ratified, implemented. Abuja becomes Nasiwa's permanent headquarters. Relief as crude oil sales to Dangote, others in Naira begins October the 1st. NNPCL posts 3.3 trillion naira net profit, declares 2.1 trillion naira dividend in 2023. 5 years after, Ex-CJN Onoge moves to set aside CCT judgment. NIMET forecast 3-day rains from Monday. Troops kill Boko Haram commander, others in Borno. Above the masthead, police to quiz Ajaero today over terrorism financing, treasonable felony. INEC to distribute PVCs from 192 wards, 18 local governments in Edo, Ondo, underway. Next is the Nation newspaper. $500 million bond investors to get 9.7% barred from Naira conversion. Alleged terrorism financing, others. Police invite NLC boss Ajaero. Lawyers list agenda for CGN designates Kekereekon. That's about it for the Nation newspaper. Next is the Business AM. Analysts shine light on benefits, risks of Nigeria's $500 million local dollar bond offer. As Treasury, DMO officials welcome investors. Red flag raised over bonds 5-year tenor. Worry over deployment of bonds proceeds. Analysts list factors keeping gold bullish at $2,700 per ounce near-term target. Global trend continuing after climbing to $2,490. Next is the Nation Sporting Live. Vardy stuns Spurs, talking about Leicester City and Tottenham 1-1 draw. Indeed, a denied late winner. Also, Bellingham vents at Mbappe Vinicius. Chelsea agree Felix fee. Gallagher to join Atletico. Guardiola to receive double wages offer. Leicester sign Oliver Skip from Tottenham. Man United set to sell Sancho. A transfer saga, Atlanta slapped 70.7 billion naira on Lookman after Eagles star demanded PSG move. And PSG offer Lookman 4.5 million pounds, 4.5 million euros per season. Could become one of Europe's highest paid Nigerian stars. Barca in talks to sell Roque. And Haaland, I want to become a better player. 228 billion naira deal. PSG cool interest in Osimhen. Vardy stuns Spurs, okay. And then Ronaldo backed for return to Man United. Victor Boniface in trouble under investigation over alleged foul gesture in Bayer Leverkusen's Super Cup win. That's about it for all the newspapers up for review this morning. Veronica.
Yeah, and I believe that our viewers have been updated. One story that caught my attention quickly is the matter of the food crisis on the front page of this Nigerian newspaper. Army officers deployed to protect farmers in the north. Recall that we have been talking about how it's important that these farmers are secured to be able to return to their farms so we can address this matter of food crisis head on. It's one underlying problem, and it's good to see that the Army will be protecting them. Well, the format or the strategy with which they will protect them is what we do not know. Can they spread across all the farms in the north? That's a big question. What is the strategy to ensure that these people are confident enough to go to the farm, stay in their farm, and do what is necessary, and they can harvest at the time they would, and that these farms will be protected from cattle, rustlers, and all of these matters of herders and farmer clashes at the end of the day. These are critical issues that we hope will also be looked into in the coming days.
Absolutely. So, well, we believe that the Nigerian Army they are professional when it comes to securing the integrity of the nation, the sovereignty of the nation. And I'm just wondering, just like you're wondering, how they want to spread that into the farmlands, where the farmers are, expected to go there, cultivate, and then go thereafter to harvest. And then protecting them against, herder, or let's say herders, and some other criminals who might be coming into the farmlands. Well, we just hope that all of these things are taken care of in due time.
At the end of the day.
Food prices is really
biting
a
hard.
problem, that we're facing.
All right, let's quickly move on now. Coming up on the show, long queues have returned to filling stations, causing a strain on the country's transportation costs. Join us after the break as we discuss this issue.